Hello and welcome to the Over 50s Fitness Challenge. How many sit-to-stands can you do in 30 seconds? Well, first of all, let me show you what a sit-to-stand is. You will need a chair. Safety first, just make sure that the chair is secure and that it isn't moving anywhere, that it's on sensible flooring. You wouldn't want to put it on a laminate or slippy flooring or uneven tiles in the garden or anything like that. So if everything's secure, here is a sit to stand. Take your time getting into the position. I'm going to show you first and then we'll talk about technique. Okay, so there's a few sit-to-stands for you. We're going to see how many of these you can do in 30 seconds. First of all, let's go over some technique points. So take your time as you come into the chair. Make sure you're sitting on the front third of the chair, but no further forward than that, because you don't want to risk flipping the chair. That would be a bad day at the exercise office, wouldn't it? Then what we're going to do is walk our heels just behind our knees. Toes and knees facing forward. You'll notice my knees are coming forward, but they're not protruding past the end of my toes. Then it's posture check, so you might just want to have a light roll of the shoulders to the sides of your rib cage, shoulders floating at the side of your rib cage, and we're looking straight forward. And then the last thing is just making sure you've got a neutral spine. So what that means is that you don't want to be hunched over. You also don't want to be thinking too straight and actually end up pushing out your ribs. So I like to just clamp those ribs in a little bit. Eyes on the horizon, hinging forward at the hips. If you want to practice at a couple of those, you can bring your pinky fingers down. So we're moving forward at the hips, pushing through the feet, breathing out as we come up to a full stand, but we're not locking back our knees. Then when we come down, it's the same in reverse. Because we're going to be seeing how many of these sit-to-stands we can do in 30 seconds, you can have a stopwatch just nearby, press the stopwatch and then say let it count 5 seconds in just so you're in good position. When it hits your 5 seconds or so, 30 seconds from there, or you can do this with a partner or a friend, and making sure that we're controlled. One thing I would like to show you as well from the front, a real key point on the sit to stand that sometimes is easily missed out. Imagine you've got an elastic band, an imaginary elastic band around your knees, and you're putting tension into that band, making sure the band is nice and taut. So it engages your hips and most importantly as well, your bottom, or equally important as your hips, but still very important, your bottom. And then as we push up forward, you might not have to have as wide a legs as me, but as we push up, we're keeping those knees over those ankles because that imaginary band, elastic band, is nice and tight. So they're the main things with sit to stands. See how many you can do in 30 seconds. You may be saying, Rob, I can't do a sit to stand. And that is absolutely fine. Obviously, if you've been told not to do a sit to stand, then don't do it. If you've been given any health professional or medical advice not to do this move, if it causes any pain, discomfort, do not do it. Other things that we can look at, it may be that you do this on a chair that has arms, so you can safely use the arms for assistance. I could use the side of my chair for assistance as well. What I could also do is I could do partial sit-to-stands, either not using or using my hands, and that's still going to engage my leg muscles. And this brings me on, I'm going to show you one more move and then this brings me on to why the sit-to-stand is such a good move. You could also, if sit-to-stand is too hard, too challenging, have some balance support. Let me just get my head on the screen. Balance support, feet hip width or just outside hip width apart. It's all the same technique points as before. Imagine there's a button behind you and you're just, the bottom button, and you're just sticking your bottom out onto that button, hinge in the hips, lose those pinky fingers, bend in the knees. You don't have to come as low as me. It's all about you versus you, nobody else. So when you get your score for the sit to stands, you can compare it to the description below, and you can compare yourself against your peers and where the average for your age group, 50 to 60, 60 to 70 and so on is. And then you can work on improving this move depending on wherever you come on that graph. Why are sit to stands good? What are they good for? Well, they work the front of the leg muscles, the back of the leg muscles, the bottom, your abs and lower back are engaged. We've also got a little bit of support from the cheeky calves down here. Also, if you're doing them quickly, be aware that actually you're going to get quite a cardiovascular workout as well. You're going to get a little bit hotter than normal. I wouldn't go straight into this challenge because you might be working quite hard. So you may want to warm up with something simple. Would be 2 really simple leg warm-ups. Would be a march, making sure the knees don't go any higher than the hips. And also to warm those hips and glutes up, a side step, making sure that you don't step completely in, so there's always a bit of a gap between your feet, so you've got good balance or good base of support. It's a very functional move. We get up and down a lot in everyday life, don't we? And we see people come into this position here or struggling to get up at times. So this will help your endurance with sitting to standing in everyday life. Also, another really important of this is because we're relative to ourselves, but we're powering up, that's actually going to help develop the power in your leg muscles. It's going to help communicate your brain, strengthen those pathways between your brain and your muscles to help reaction speeds and engage power and strength in those muscles. So I believe I've covered everything. Hopefully I didn't talk too much, and there's a lot of good information in there for you. So try the sit to stand challenge. How many can you do in 30 seconds? Compare it to the numbers, to the graphs, whatever we're going to put in the description area. See how you compare against your peers, and then you can try and improve this score through the coming days and the coming weeks. Thank you very much. Enjoy.